What's up, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? Let's see. Let's see. What's happening, everybody? Trying to find the questions here. Let's see what I can do. Boom, we're in here. What's up? What's up? What's up? I don't know about the Reebok Light TR. You guys will have to check out Reebok for that. Denver was dope, man. Denver was really cool. Mostly just with the people I'm with, you know? How to increase your 1 rep max for squats? That's a broad question, man. Check out some of the videos I have on here. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and check those out. Project Momentum, I don't know what that is. Benching twice a week. Should my days be the same or should I run 2 different bench days? You could do different rep schemes on different days. Can you guys all see me? Give me a thumbs up or type the letter, or excuse me, the number 1 if y'all can see me. Do I use beard oil? Yeah. Appreciate the kind words. Is it worth squatting past parallel or better to just squat to parallel? It depends on how you're built and how you can squat. Squat to the depth that you can, hopefully breaking parallel, and see what's most comfortable. You were at Super Training yesterday? Nice, man. Yeah, I was out of town. Do you ever revisit linear progression for your online clients? Yeah, I mean, linear progression's a staple in a lot of programming. Cool. We're live. We're in it. 200 people in here. Do your boy a favor. Like the video, friends. If you guys like this live stream for me, subscribe, and then share this bitch. Let's see if we can get up to about 500 people. You want to meet me? I appreciate that. 330-pound squat? Yeah, man, that's good. But what's better is progress. How to cut fat in the quickest way. I got a video coming out talking about diet tomorrow, so be sure to watch that. And I'm not a big fan of cutting anything or doing anything fast. Small changes over long periods of time. Would I ever do a strongman competition? Yeah, probably. I'll do strongman eventually. Thoughts on high volume programs like Shaco? Shaco is a coach, just so you know. So there's multiple programs that are kind of templates that he's put out. High intensity training can work. Yes, it can work for many. Top 3 to 5 lifts for a field athlete and specific soccer. Something like a box squat, some kind of pull, whether it's a trap bar deadlift, maybe a stiff leg deadlift. I think things like overall hamstring work, so even leg curls, GHR. And then some kind of press, push press, and some kind of pull, maybe a bent over row or chin up are all good. What are my thoughts on a 5x5 strong lifts for someone? Yeah, 5x5 is a great basic program for many people. Taco or burrito? I'll probably go with a burrito. I don't eat a lot of tacos. Do I care if people ask for a photo in public? No, man. I mean, as long as I'm not like literally in the middle of something or a sentence, I don't care at all. So in controlled reps over explosive reps, I think it depends on the movement, but definitely more into being explosive and moving the weight efficiently. Top 3 supplements, not a big fan of any of them. Some kind of protein maybe to keep you on track, or as a snack or a protein bar, and then caffeine's really all I'm a fan of. Pie or cake? I just had this conversation with Bart Kwan, and I think cake is mostly bullshit. It's just sugar bread, but some pies are bullshit too. Strongman comp? Yeah, I already mentioned. Yeah, maybe. You're twisting at the bottom of your squat. What's the issue? Could be a tight hip, potentially. Do I remember? Yeah, go ahead and get that pump, bro, when you asked to bench at Super Training. Sorry, I don't. I see a lot of different people at Super Training. Best rep range for increasing your max bench? All of them. I'm a fan of training all of the rep ranges and intensities. Can you get stronger on a calorie deficit? I believe so, yeah. You can still work on like your power, your force production. You can still work on skill acquisition. Those are kind of two out of the three things that you can focus on getting stronger, and those can both be improved during a deficit. So it is possible. For everyone, no, but for most, yeah. What do I think about hyperextensions for building your low back? It's a good movement, yeah. I mean, deadlifts are good, hyperextensions, GHR, reverse hyper. Do I like any fiber powder? I don't really take any fiber powder. I just try to eat fiber, veggies, fruits. Underdeveloped rear delts. Any kind of row is going to hit it, but a face pull and a pull apart are two of my favorite movements for shoulder health and rear delts. Are 1 month programs worth it? It depends. How do you stay braced at the bottom of a squat? You just hold your breath kind of the whole time. Current PR goals? I have a bunch, but I'm not too worried about them right now. Do I believe in aliens? I don't know. I don't have a PO box. Left shoulder keeps on rising when you bench. Maybe it's like a mobility issue in that shoulder, or a weak like trap lat rear delt, so you can't keep it tucked. I don't know. I'd have to see. Conjugate for intermediate or linear periodization. Conjugate program is great, but you have to have a lot of wisdom about yourself and the lifts to do so, I believe, and a lot of efficiency in the basic squat bench dead. So linear is fine also, but something undulating will be good. On a keto diet, do you still carb up before and after workouts? I don't really use a keto diet. I don't think it's best for most performance athletes. Face pulls on a seated cable row machine or with a rope attachment. I use a rope attachment. Conjugate method is a good program, but it's less of a program and more of like a method or theory, so you kind of have to know. Pizza toppings, I'm a pretty basic like pepperoni sausage guy or chicken barbecue. Intermittent fasting is fine. There's nothing wrong with some fasting as long as your overall calories are kind of in control. Would I do an Olympic lifting meet, a weightlifting meet? Probably not. Sticking point on the bench is about 3 inches off your chest. So sticking points are interesting with strength training. People like to, I think, blow them out of proportion a little bit. You'll always miss a lift somewhere. So you have to just get stronger. If you're missing off your chest, really low off your chest, it may be a form thing. So just working on your technique will help the most. Elbow position in the squat kind of depends per person, but typically we want to get them together and down. My boy Ryan, have you been on every live stream? I don't know, dude. Probably. Hopefully. Hopefully we'll have a live stream live together, buddy. End of March. Best accessory exercise for the deadlift. More deadlifts. Block pulls are good. Deficit pulls can be good. Stiff leg deadlifts. Bench press has increased in the... hasn't increased in the last 3 months. Make sure your sleep and nutrition's good on the bench, and then also making sure you're on some kind of program with a progression. I use bench blocks? No, I do not. How to help lockout on the sumo? Often your lockout depends on your form, on your starting position. So starting position is going to help. Overall speed is going to help. And then lastly, probably glutes and hammies will help. What shoes do I train in? I train in a Reebok CrossFit Lite TR and then also a Reebok Legacy. Best exercise to grow your chest? A bench press. Do you believe in pause reps for increasing max bench? Yeah. Tips to stop weight belt from ripping into your waist. It's hard. Weight belts can hurt sometimes, but try just wearing a little bit higher or try maybe a thinner belt. My bulking calories, sadly, I'm not that good at bulking. I don't really track. I just eat a lot. Slight pain in your hip pulling sumo. I wouldn't say it's normal. Try moving your stance in a little bit from where you are, or also pointing your toes out a little bit maybe. How do you warm up for a 1 rep max? I like to do multiple sets and reps with lighter weights, and then eventually I just go into singles, and it all kind of depends on how strong you are, what those jumps are going to be. OHP or bench, depends on the goals, but I bench. I haven't been to Toronto, but I really, really need to. I do. How many sets for chest and a PPL split? I mean, it kind of depends because everybody's going to be a little bit different. Do your boy a favor. Can you guys like this stream? How many minutes are we going here? Does it say? Like this stream, subscribe, share this bitch out. Let's get this thing cracking. Rehab exercises for benchers with benchers, shoulder, elbow. Not sure what you mean. Trap exercises, deadlifts and squats. Lever or prong belt. I've used both. I like both. I should be at the Arnold. Yep. Is squat and deadlifting and socks okay? It is, as long as you don't want to bash up your toes. Thoughts on hook grip? It's not for me, but yeah, it's a fine grip if you could do it. Lifting programs for wrestlers. I think kind of all programs, what you guys have to think about is I think there's a weird fad about sports-specific training, and I think that's kind of a bullshit buzzword. In the gym, you're trying to get stronger, and in your sport, you're trying to get specific. So a wrestler, a soccer player, a basketball player, a football player, depending how you're built, your mobility, your injuries, things like that, you can all lift weights. The same, squat, bench, deadlift, maybe a power clean. You just want to say hi, what's up? What's up in Russia? Intermittent fasting alone does not do anything special or work in my opinion. Squat every day, just did a video on it, be sure to check it out. Motivation when you're feeling lost, that's hard, man. Because I think we all feel lost sometimes, you know. I've been through it many a time, many days, many weeks, many months, feeling lost in terms of my lifting goals, my life goals, and what to do. I think all you can really do is start asking yourselves questions and really start being self-aware and looking inside yourself at what you do right now, what you could do better, and ultimately what you want, why you want it. And once you figure out what you want and why you want it, I think the other pieces fill in pretty easily. The motivation, the passion, the drive happens kind of on itself. Will you go on tests when your testosterone declines with age? I mean, I won't count it out, but I don't have any plans. Do I still coach? I do a lot of coaching. Right now I have a bunch of programs, but I do a little bit of one-on-one coaching. When personalizing strength programs for each athlete, what are keys I look for? In the beginning, it's hard to specialize a program because you have to know the athlete, know their past, and know their trends, like what happens. So majority of that is troubleshooting along the way, but I look at like how strong they are, how long they've been lifting, their technique, their lifestyle, their job, their body weight. Obviously, age plays a role. Their sex plays a little bit of a role. Ronnie Coleman videos aren't a bad move when you're lost. Always entertaining. Opinion on CrossFit? Look, I like anybody that's trying to get better. Anybody that's trying to progress in anything in life, I'm a fan of. And I also like people that train with barbell, so no hate on CrossFit at all. Pancakes or waffles? I'll probably go waffles. You currently bench 365. Tips to hit 405. I would check out my program, my bench program, my 12-week bench program, something similar that I ran that helped me bench 405. But any kind of program can help and will work. You just got to make sure your nutrition's good, your sleep's good, and you're consistent, man. Powerlifting, Max Aida versus Silent Mike. Max Aida is way stronger than me. Max Aida is an absolute beast. I respect that guy a lot as a lifter and a coach, and he would whip my ass. Have I ever juiced, or would I? I've never used any kind of performance-enhancing drugs. Not to say I never would, but potentially maybe, but no, not right now. Do you think... you're in Natomas? Yeah, man. Northern California, we're having a bunch of floods and stuff. It's pretty scary. Natomas is a pretty scary area. I think I'm far enough east, but dude, maybe. I saw a live stream here on YouTube of the floods at the Oroville. It's pretty scary. A Kaizen 12-week plan. Can you bulk and prep for a meet with it? So the 12-week bench program, you could kind of prep for a meet with. It comes to a peak a little bit. But the 12-week fat loss, maintain your strength, you could bulk with it, but I use it more of as an off-season volume work capacity program. I'm trying to keep up. Legacy versus Nike Romelios. I did a full video on it. Go check it out. All these questions can be answered in videos I crushed. Is Insanity a good program to cut? I mean, it's fine. I'm not a big fan of just doing hella cardio. I'm more of a fan of lifting weights and maintaining my strength. Open my own gym. It's definitely in my head. I don't know when or where or if, but it's crossed my mind. Bench tips for a long arm person. Figure out the best way you can bench, man, and just get better at it. Favorite TV show? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How to jump higher and run faster. Lifts, squat, deadlift, build those hamstrings up. Box squat can help as well. Hypothetical numbers for a 242 natty lifter. Obviously, you probably don't follow me because there is no good lifters or good numbers for any lifters. I mean, there's 242 guys that total 2,100, and there's 242 guys that total 1,000 pounds. So get a total and then get better at it and improve on yourself. The difference between a peaking program and like a strength program, a peaking program will set you up to hit a new 1 rep max, or a strength program basically focuses in on building strength long term. So things go through different phases. What's up, David? I got you, bro. You got to talk to me tomorrow about training and meet in June. Yeah, man. I'm definitely down to help you out, David. You're a strong little bastard and you work hard, so let's chat. You can email me right now too, bro. I think you might have my number or email. Just hit me up. What else do we have? I missed a bunch of questions. You can use the cut program to bulk. Obviously, all the information is for nutrition-wise is for cutting, but if you know how to bulk calorie-wise, the program will work well. Yeah, there's a lot of volume. How long have I been lifting? I've been lifting, I guess, about 15 years, and then powerlifting about 8. I've never met Jeremy Horstra, I don't think, but the dude is very, very strong, very impressive. Beard treatment, just a little bit of oil. Any plans to play basketball again or coach basketball again? No plans to play again, but who knows, man. I may get back into coaching in the future. Hard to say. How to peak with conjugate. So conjugate has something called the circa max phase. Conjugate basically peaking is more of a periodization deal, and they do congruent periodization where they're kind of constantly peaked. That's kind of a philosophy with the West Side Conjugate method. What color lightsaber would I have? Probably a blue one. Maybe like a purple one. I mean, I would say red, but I wouldn't be a bad dude. I do some online coaching, but mostly I do programming, and I sell different programs. RPE training. RPE training is fine. I'm not a big fan because I think it's too much of a skill, and people don't look into that skill. So I think percentage, if you have a coach, or a percentage if you're following a program, works best. You guys, do your boy a favor. Like this video right now. We're at 200. Let's see how many we can go. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and we'll continue pushing this fucking thing a little bit. How many minutes we've been going? 19. We'll keep pushing if you guys help me out. Like, subscribe, and share this bitch out. Let's get a lot of people. If you're interested in individual coaching, you can email me right here. That's my email for individual coaching. You can find my programs in the description. Is all my programming. We have a bunch of different programs on there to help you guys out. I don't really have any Valentine's Day plans. How can you improve your programming skills? You basically just have to read books, start programming, and then get around a bunch of coaches, try to learn, watch videos. For programs, go to Kaizen, because my one-on-one coaching is pretty limited and not so affordable for most. How many days a week do I train? Like 4 or 5. I don't really do any phone or Skype things, but you can email me. I can try to help you. I did have a cold, yeah. Thanks for caring, Susie. I had a cold last week, so I'm still a little stuffed up. Maybe sound a little nasally. What are your thoughts on weightlifting? Oli lifts, I think they're awesome. They're not for me, but I pay attention to some weightlifting. Bulgarian method, it's a weightlifting method. I've gone over squatting every day many times on the channel. It's cool, but favorite movie, Star Wars, hands down. I got lower back pain. What movement should I do to replace deadlifts? I think you should fix your technique on deadlifts and try maybe elevated deadlifts light. What's my job? Man, I don't know. I don't know what my job is, bro. High or low bar squats, personal preference. Do you think having a coach to do personalized programs is essential? I wouldn't say it's an essential, but having some kind of plan or program, I believe, is essential. Appreciate the kind words, guys. Man, I got no job, just a bum. Email for coaching. This is for my clients. If you guys are interested, is right there. And then all my training programs are available here. Would I consider competing equipped? Probably not, man. I don't ever really want to get in a bench shirt. I might go to Never Sate, man. I had a lot of fun with Brian when he was out here, so maybe. Heavy bench press, your elbows keep flaring. Chances are your shoulder blades, your back is becoming loose and untucked. So, any collabs coming up? I got a vlog. I was hanging out with the Barbell Brigade guys, so that'll drop pretty soon. And then hopefully some cool collabs coming up. We'll see. Trap bar usage. Not a huge fan for like a power lifter, but for some athletes, I think it's good. Would I ever visit Scotland? I would never say never, man. I've heard Scotland's really cool, so maybe. Is there a way to do powerlifting and remain aesthetic? Yeah, 100%. There's a ton of aesthetic powerlifters. Like myself. No, but I think when I cut down, I'll be fairly aesthetic. I would like to go to the Chicagoland area. Haven't yet, but hopefully. How did we come up with the name Kaizen? Basically, Kaizen is like a Japanese philosophy for continuous improvement. I've talked a long time on my channel and hashtagged strive for progress, and that's kind of a similar thing. And the Japanese just have one word to encompass that, to always get better, to always improve, to be self-aware. And that's something that's rung with me my whole life. I actually had a basketball coach in high school, and that was a theme for one of our teams. I have a shirt. It was like 2007. It says Kaizen on it. And then Bart and Omar are also really into the Japanese culture and like that saying as well. And so it's just something we kind of agreed upon. Does deadlift build lats? It does, but so do chin-ups and pull-downs. My cut's going well. My weekly average is way down, so hopefully I'll be my lightest coming up here. Increasing mobility in your shoulders, reducing shoulder and elbow pain. I did a whole video on kind of tendonitis and what I suggest for it, but I would check Mobility Watt on here. Can you go live once a week? I definitely want to go live once a week. It just depends on my traveling schedule. Tips for active glutes in the squat. Knees tend to cave in. I like to really feel the ground. I kind of think about spreading my foot into the ground like so and then twisting out. If I'm in heels, I almost push into my toes. I know that's counter to what a lot of people say, but I like to get the weight in my midfoot here. I push into my toes and then I twist out. Warming up with some kind of hip circle or something around your knees. Activating your glutes can help as well. Best total right now, I think I weighed in about 225 and I totaled 1603. Jason Pegg, what's up, my man? How long am I in town for the Arnold? I think the plan right now is about 5 or 6 days to be in Columbus. That is the plan as of right now. The plans change. Who knows? My least favorite color? I don't know. Brown. Brown's my least favorite color. Or navy blue. Half-baked Ben & Jerry's or Tonight Dough? Both. But Tonight Dough probably. What are some go-to recipes? If you guys look way back, I have some cooking stuff on here. Thanks, Yasmin. That is very nice. I have some cooking stuff on here. How to increase your vertical, build your glutes, hamstrings, and quads. Training 4 times in the gym and 2 American football with uni team plus Sunday game. Is that doable? Yeah, it's definitely doable. I just wouldn't go too crazy on your lifting. Number 1 exercise for a thick back, deadlifts. Hands down, deadlifts, chin-ups, barbell rows. Mark Ripito is very knowledgeable. Is it possible to gain strength while on a calorie deficit? Yes, it is. If the calorie deficit's low enough, there's basically 3 different ways we can get strong. 1 is building more muscle. 2 is getting better at the movement, more efficient at the movement, skill acquisition. And then 3 is like force production, becoming more powerful, recruiting more like motor units per like square inch of muscle, or however nerdy you want to get it. And when we're in a deficit, it's pretty hard to gain hypertrophy. Although possible, it's hard, but the other two are still possible. It's still possible to get more powerful, and it's still possible to get better at the movement. So on a small deficit, that's why we basically created this program, kaizentraining.com. I just typed it in there. That's what I've been using, as well as Bart Kwan and Omar Isuf, and that's what we use to help others get more strength, maintain their muscle while also burning fat. I have seen Clarence Kennedy. I didn't really know much about him, but that dude is a fucking freak. How did I learn to booty pop? I don't know, man. You guys do your boy a favor, like the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Share this video out. Let's try to get some let's get some views in here. We're up at 360, but I think we can get to 500. We'll get to 500 and then we'll call it a day. I think we've been going for about half an hour now. Do I program strongmen? Not really. Although a lot of strongmen train with powerlifting, I can help people get stronger, but I can't really help them with the tasks that are strongman. I'm not very good at that. I'd probably refer to my boy Alan Thrall for that. Obviously Brian Shaw, but he's a little harder to get a hold of. We're going to put out a bunch of programs, Kyle. There's a bunch of programs in the work. Q&A with Matt Vincent at the Arnold? Maybe, man. The Arnold's always pretty packed, so we'll see. There may or may not be a power building, hypertrophy, strength program in the works right now for you guys. Is putting on fat the only way to get more muscle? No, not if you're in a small calorie surplus. So just eating a little bit more calories than you actually need. What's on the headphones? Nothing. I'm just using it as a microphone. But nothing's going through the headphones. Just sitting here chilling. How do I get a good pump on your uterus? I don't really know about uterus hypertrophy. It's something I haven't really studied yet. Like, I've been doing this shit a long time. Like, I've been training and coaching people for like 10 years. But uterus hypertrophy is kind of something you get into in like 15 years. You missed the Red Ranger outro. The Red Ranger outro is pretty epic. 675 deadlift, I agree. But I feel like the edit on this other one is just beyond, dude. My boy Connor is absolutely killing it. How can you fix your good morning squat? A little bit of lean in your squat might be okay, but how you breathe and brace your stomach is going to be really important. I'm your favorite YouTuber. Appreciate that, Kyle. I really do. I don't have any clue about the Arnold Classic Strongman events. I wish I was that in-depth in this world. I don't have those kind of connects. Should a strength building program focus on intensity over volume? Both. I mean, both are very important. You need strength. You need some kind of intensity. Typically, I like to trade sub-maximally, so I would say intensity would kind of come second to volume and frequency for myself and how I use strength building. But then when I peak, obviously intensity has to go up a little bit. Difficulty maintaining tight tucked shoulders during a bench press. Any tips to maintain tight tucked shoulders? Pull aparts and face pulls are a great way to warm up. Having a bigger, stronger back, and then also just benching with the proper amount of weight. So training between like 70%, 75% will allow you to do it. Jason, I know these questions are actually pretty good. I used to get really shit questions, and I used to yell at people about it, but these questions are pretty decent. Keto or nah? Keto's not for me. I think it helps many. I like that it's being studied, and I like its future for different diseases, Alzheimer's, diabetes, obviously, and some other things. So I like where it's going. But performance athletes, I'm not a big fan, especially younger ones. I think some carbs are good. Do I train calves? I sadly don't. Stretch marks from gaining size. Yeah, it's a little bit of part of the process. I have some stretch marks, kind of pec, armpit area, kind of part of the game. Favorite barbell? Probably the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. How big of a baby is David So? That's funny. David So's the man, dude. He's working hella hard. He's already lost a bunch of weight. How to get a crazy good posterior chain? Box squats, deadlifts, all that shit. Can I bench 80% of my max with sore rotator cuffs from back day yesterday? I mean, maybe. It's hard to say. If your form's good. Who would win in a fight, me or Omar? Probably Omar, man. I'm not much of a fighter. Who inspires me the most? I don't know, man. My dad inspired me a lot. He worked really hard, provided for his family, and was very, very selfless. So that inspires me a lot to try to be just as selfless. Even in a selfish world, it's really hard to be selfless, but I'm trying. I'm trying to stay loyal and stay selfless in a very selfish world. Oh, the Kaizen training to get 99% off? Dude, I totally forgot it. I think it must have expired. Can you deadlift while doing a smaller squat program? I mean, you can, but I'd probably keep it real light. Professionally, in the fitness world, I mean, my goal is just to always inform and inspire, hopefully entertain. So if I can daily teach somebody something new, one person daily, if I can make somebody laugh and kind of forget the tough time they may be dealing with, or three, kind of inspire someone to get off the couch and work hard in the gym and improve themselves in their life, then I think I'm doing my job. So that's kind of the goal through Instagram, through YouTube, and these other platforms that I have some following on. I just want to help others, man. Training sets to failure, counterintuitive for powerlifting? Yes. I think for hypertrophy and powerlifting, I'm not a big fan of going to failure. What do I suggest for someone who hit a plateau during a cut? You kind of have one of two options. You got to up your activity, so doing maybe a little bit more cardio or lower the calories a little bit. I don't think I'm going to the Arnold, Australia, although I would love to. Do you think Donald Trump could win the Mr. Olympia this year? I mean, I don't see why not. When am I going to be on Just Kidding News? I would love to go on Just Kidding News. No plans right now, but I would love to. Thoughts on connective tissue work? I think it depends. I'm not a huge fan, but I'll do some soft tissue work here and there. Should you cut isolation movements out completely 3 weeks out from powerlifting meet? I wouldn't say you have to, but it doesn't hurt. I like to keep face pulls or something light in, maybe a chin up, but I don't really keep a lot of them in. I'm not doing heavy ass bicep curls and skull crushers. What faith do I follow? I follow the faith of positivity, my man. I think if I help people, if I spread positivity myself, that positivity will help us all, not only myself, but those surrounding me, to a better life and maybe a better afterlife. I don't know. Do you hit chest with a torn rotator cuff? I mean, I'm no doctor. If you have a torn rotator cuff, I'd go to a doctor. I need advice when you hit a strength plateau in one lift. You got to kind of check it out. So it might be a technique deal. I'd probably check out if your programming's good. Maybe you need more frequency or more volume. What programming adjustments for older lifters north of 40? Kind of depends, because there's plenty of 40-year-olds breaking world records, and then there's plenty of 40-year-olds just getting into lifting. Simple things is they probably just can't handle the volume that a young gun can, perhaps maybe even the frequency. So it's just about balancing those two, squatting once or two times a week, benching one or two times, doing a lot of prehab stuff. 40's not that old, so they can probably still handle more than they think. Can you make progress while sleeping very little? I think some people can. I personally can't. I got to sleep, man. But definitely some people can go and be very productive in life and in the gym with very little sleep. Best hip circles for high school basketball players? Probably just the blue one. Version number 1. I don't do front squats, but I think front squats are a great exercise. Tips on getting into a better position in deadlift, having trouble getting position for conventional deadlifts with short arms, long femurs. If you have really, really short arms but a little bit mobile, maybe a sumo deadlift, and then it's just about light weights, repetition on repetition, getting better at it. Would you recommend drop sets like 5 times 10 on the squat after doing your main sets? I'm typically not a big fan of that. I like to kind of have a dedicated like rep day where I'm doing sets of 10 and then maybe a day where I'm doing sets of 6 or sets of 5. Does age play a huge part in lifting heavy? I don't think age plays as much as a role as experience. So the more you lift, the stronger you're going to get. Elbows and forearms pop out a bit while you're benching. It might be a loose upper back. Programs for beginners, something like Jim Wendler's 5-3-1. Great program, 5 sets of 5, starting strength, bunch of different things. Do I drink kombucha? I don't. Favorite warm-up for low bar squats? Check like 2 videos back. I did a full video on how I warm up for squats. Thoughts on 5-3-1 program? Just mentioned, great program. Thoughts on deadlifting and Oli shoes? Not typically a big fan. I've been pulling in some weightlifting shoes. I know there's a lot of questions about that, but that's basically just laziness. I don't want to carry around a bunch of different shoes. Two weeks out, deload week, then test week, or test week, then deload week. I personally don't test before the meet. I just test at the meet. But if you're going to do a test week, I'd probably do a test week, then a deload week. How do you increase grip strength? Grip strength is pretty particular. So if you're trying to increase grip strength for your deadlift, then I would hold your deadlifts. I would do double overhand work and even some farmer carries. Making a video of you guys playing super training basketball? Probably not, man. Someone would get injured. There's some videos on here of me playing basketball back in the day. Your squat's looking really good, but you're having some mid-lower back pain during. If you're sore, it's probably just maybe weakness. Make sure you're breathing right. You could try adjusting your belt position, but you're going to be a little beat up after heavy squats. Best glute exercises, conventional deadlifts, kettlebell swings, barbell hip thrusts. If you go to super training, can you get a picture with me? Yeah, man, as long as I'm not working out or in the middle of something, for sure. Do your boy a favor, like this. Let's see if we can get 500 likes and 500 people in here. I don't know if that's possible, but it'd be really cool if we could. How long have we been kicking it at this thing? 37 minutes? We'll do a couple more minutes. If you can only bench 135, is it possible to pick up chicks at the gym? It is possible if you're very funny. If you're funny, it doesn't matter what your bench is. Chances are, I may be wrong, but the more your bench goes up, often the chance of you being funny goes down. I don't know why. Could you ever dunk? Yeah, I've dunked back in the day. In the golden days. Do you train any in-season athletes, and how do you train them? I don't currently, but if I did, it would be a lot of really low repetition stuff, 1s, 2s, and 3s, probably around 60, 70%, just getting a little bit of movement, a little bit of mobility, depending on the sport, depending on the athlete, and then a lot of rehab, prehab. Do I drink the Black Cherry Monster? I have, but I don't. But I have had it. It's just rarer. It's rarer to find, so I don't really drink it that much. Mike, can you make a video with Meg squats? How tall am I? I'm about 5'9". 4 consecutive days to work out. What's your split like? Probably just upper, lower, man. What do you think of focusing on ultra heavy rack pulls above the knee? 1,200 pounds plus? It depends on the goal. Two questions. Interested in learning programming, and what books do I suggest? Periodization Bible, I believe it's called, is probably just the best place to start out. Kyle just answered that same question. Congruent programming, I did it for a long time with kind of a West Side type method, and it works. It can work, but you have to know how to implement it. How do you increase your number of pull-ups? Doing stuff like rows and pull-downs, and also assisted pull-ups, but also doing pull-ups more often. So if you're only doing pull-ups once a week, you got to do them more often, accumulate more volume and more practice. Does benching heavy mean heavy compared to the average male, or heavy on the lifter? Typically, benching heavy means heavy for them, closer to their 1 rep max. How do you build a bulletproof body, aka injury-free? I think you have to move in a lot of different planes. Powerlifting kind of moves in one plane up and down. getting a certain amount of cardio in, a certain amount of strength in, a certain amount of mobility in. It's going to take a large effort and a variety of moves. What do I think of Russ Swole? I think Russ Swole is an absolute beast. How often do I go beltless for my main lifts? I'm not a huge fan personally of beltless work. I'll do it mostly when I'm lazy or when I'm traveling. What's the best trap exercise for mass? Probably just like deadlifts and farmer's walks, man. Your squat is 550 with no belt, but with knee wraps. Why do I struggle to deadlift 500 though? Probably depends on how you're built, and then obviously maybe what you put more energy and effort into. Can lifting heavy affect the heart? Yeah, man. Anything, any kind of strain and stimulus can affect your heart. It is possible. You're strong on squats and deads, but bench 315. 315 bench isn't that bad. I would check out some kind of programming, make sure your nutrition's up, and sleep. A slingshot can help, but it's not going to help if your nutrition, sleep, and programming sucks. Already answered the ketogenic question. I'm not a big fan of it for performance athletes, but I do like the research and things that are going into it to maybe help diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, things of that nature. And then I think if you have a more sedentary lifestyle, it can be something to implement. Purpose of a belt is to maintain rigidity in your midsection, flex your abs a little harder, and maintain a neutral spine. Westbrook or KD? I like both a lot, to be honest, man. I think they're both awesome players. It sucks that they hate each other, but it is what it is. Westbrook's an absolute beast. Yeah, just an absolute freak. You made a program for yourself. If you email it to me and look, will I look at it? Probably not, man, because I don't know enough about you. And that's basically like coaching. That's basically me writing a program for you because you want me to critique it and fix it. So you can hire me as a coach, but sorry, I cannot look at your program and analyze it because one, I do not know you, and two, yeah, it just doesn't work that way. Best advice for improving OHP, doing more OHP. So hitting overhead maybe 2 or 3 times a week, as well as keeping that rear delts and everything, rotator cuff safe. Varying reps, varying sets. Can't seem to get your lifts up. Having a real hard time. Recommendations are make sure you're eating enough, make sure you're sleeping enough, make sure you're drinking enough water, and follow a program. Find a program and follow a program, man. Sadly, it's that easy. It's that easy. What kind of ratios between body weight and pounds would you say is strong for the deadlift? It all depends, you know. Someone who weighs 300 pounds, deadlifts 900 pounds, that's 3 times body weight, is probably still stronger than someone who weighs 200 pounds and deadlifts 3 times body weight. It's just not an exact ratio. That's why there's something called the Wilks score. Who would I want to collab with? Who I haven't collabed with? I mean, anybody, dude. I'm down to lift with and hang out with anybody who's cool, anyone who's doing positive things. That's all I really need, man. Anyone that's down to have a good time, is positive, is trying to do positive things. I've never done towel pull-ups. Actually, I can't say never. I have, and they're fine. If you could get the best total in powerlifting history but die the next day, would you? No, not at all. Powerlifting is one little part of what I do. I don't even compete. I don't even care about powerlifting as a sport personally. It's not for me. Friends, I need to go eat. It's getting late. I'll talk to you guys next time. Video dropping tomorrow. Be sure to subscribe. Like this. Thank you guys. I'm out.